and right back into the ring to see how Muay Thai continues to inspire people all around the world with a fighting spirit. Who's next, Linna?
So you come from Thailand. When and how did you start learning Muay Thai?
我係10歲啊，最要學嗰啲咧11歲打比賽嘅。
Oh, so you started when you were 10 years old to train, but you started competing when you're 11 years old. That's really young. You trained and you taught and competed in Thailand, but now you do it in Hong Kong. What's the difference?
泰國咧係認真打比賽嗰啲咧，教佢；嗰啲韓國咧，嗰啲係做運動。
You said that it's different how you teach for like exercise, for fitness, and for competition.
嗰啲係打比賽咧有 technique， 嗰啲做運動咧嗰啲俾佢出汗多啲。
Okay, so for the ones who are for competition, it's more intense. There's techniques involved, but you said for the ones who just want to do it as fitness, the purpose is to sweat more,
Yeah.
right? Oh, okay. And so for the students who want to come here just to learn Muay Thai as fitness versus competition, how do you teach them differently?
比賽咧要跑步，最少10K 啊！嗰啲咧晏晝要 skip， 再教佢 tap work 嗰啲 wrenching、sparring 多啲做運動咧，嗰啲俾佢出汗。
So it seems like there's a lot of cardio going on. They have to do running, they have to do skipping, like skipping rope, and they have to do a lot of technique, like they have to learn a lot of things throughout the whole day, like sparring as well, you said. But for exercise, they just have to do a lot of things that make them sweat a lot. You've taught in Thailand, you've taught in Hong Kong. What's something that you, like in your teaching style, that you've kept the same even in both places?
第一咧打比賽咧打盤咧要心嘅，要心嘅。你冇心一定要打唔到嘅。
So the thing that you always instill is that they have to have the heart to fight, to want to win. If they don't even have that perseverance, then there's no point in teaching them. Is that right?
Yeah.
I want to ask, like, when you teach students in Thailand versus in Hong Kong, where's the difference at?
泰國咧教佢簡單啲，教佢係快啲。點解咧？佢係細學㗎嘛。啊，你唔同香港人咧，佢大啲係10幾歲、18、19歲。
So the difference is you start teaching Thai students at a much younger age. So it would be faster for them to pick up the skills, to pick up the techniques, just because they learn when they're younger.
Yes.
But your students in Hong Kong start when they're really much older, like 18, 19 years old. So their learning is not as fast as when you teach Thai students. That's right? Oh, okay, that's interesting. What's the difference in when you're teaching in Thailand and Hong Kong? What's the environment like?
拳盤咧唔同啦，係泰國咧就係街，就冇冷氣，唔使開冷氣。點解咧？佢要出汗嘅。
The ring in Thailand is there's no aircon. It's not a luxury, you know, because the point is to make them sweat. And also, you said it's usually out near the streets, so it's not like in a studio like in Hong Kong where it's very comfortable to train and to just for fitness. You know those sounds that I hear a lot of Muay Thai fighters? There's always like ush, ush, like really loud. Why do they have to make the sound?
邊啲咧？你唔出聲咧，冇氣嘅。要出聲，要 S 就好玩啲咧。
So basically, you have to make sounds when you're like punching, when you're fighting, when you're kicking, because otherwise you have no energy. And also, it's funner, you said, and also if you don't make those sounds and you don't make any sounds at all, there's just no energy coming out, right? Oh, okay, that makes sense. So Suki, I hear that you're quite the established fighter. Can you tell me more about your experiences?
So I started learning Muay Thai when I first came to Hong Kong about 7 years ago. It was actually a TV show called Kumon that influenced me.
Oh, okay.
When I first came to Hong Kong, I didn't have any team sports that I used to play. So watching this, I decided to find a gym and I started training. And my first fight was about 3 months after I first started training.
3 months after you first started training. That's really fast time for competing.
I'm actually very competitive, so I've always competed in sports my entire life.
Okay.
So once I started on the first day, I told my coach, I was like, I want to try this. But the problem for me was Hong Kong fighters are a lot smaller, so I had to cut a lot of weight before I could get down to my first fight.
And where have you fought?
I fought about 8 times in Hong Kong, I think, and then I fought once in Canada. It was a tournament for the nationals in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So I had to fly over, and it was within the week. I was jet lagged, I had to cut weight. I wasn't allowed to eat, so it was a journey.
I heard that you have win the majority of your fights. Is that true?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I think my record is 6-3. Yeah, with the last loss being a semi-pro fight. I was fighting a pro fighter, yeah.
That is really impressive. And how long have you been training?
I think it's about 7 years now. Yeah.
Also the exact time you've been in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
With losing, how do you overcome that?
Losing is tough, I have to admit. It kind of pushes you further though. Okay. So it takes about a week to get over, well, for me.
Okay.
I was really upset for my first loss because I thought I won. Everyone else thought I won.
Okay.
So it just pushes me to train harder. It's very mentally challenging, but with a good supportive group of people, then it helps a lot. Like my trainers are very supportive, my friends, and like everyone around me. So I think that makes it easier.
Okay.
And it makes you just fight harder next time. That fire within you just grows, and like you don't want to lose again.
When you're preparing for a fight and when you're just like training, do you do anything that's like more intensely? Do you change your diet or anything like that?
Yep, so when I fight, I wake up earlier. I run about 6:30, 7 a.m. because I work at a school, so we start really early.
Okay.
And I run before work, and then I finish my school day, and then I come straight to the gym for about 2 to 3 hours of training.
Wow.
So after work, I come here and we do about 15, 20 minutes of skipping. And then you shadow box for 3 rounds of 3 minutes. And then you do about like 10 rounds on the bags. And then we do, I think, about 5 to 7 rounds on the pads with the coaches. So that's when they correct the technique and they're teaching you skills. And after that, you have to apply it on the bag and you do a couple more rounds. And then you do more 100 sit-ups. And then more, I think in total about 1,000 abs exercises, like counting. And then to finish off, we stretch to cool down, yeah.
That sounds so intense. I couldn't even do half of that. So like, what makes you want to learn Muay Thai?
What made me continue learning it was the culture and just the thrill and the adrenaline you get from the sport. Because of this culture, I've traveled to Thailand for training, and I've also learned Thai.
What do you see in the future? Like, what are your goals as a Muay Thai fighter? Do you want to be like a champion, a teacher yourself?
Not gonna lie, I do, but realistically, it's a bit hard in Hong Kong. We don't have that great of a scene for pro fighters.
Okay.
So the pay and everything isn't that great here. The opportunities aren't as great. So that's why I still have a full-time job, even though I want to fight.
Right, okay.
But I have thought about moving to Thailand and to just training full-time because I've seen people do that.
Going all the way for your dreams. So it's clear that Muay Thai has encompassed every part of your life, but how has it affected your mindset?
Muay Thai to me is not just about myself. I want to influence the next generation. Especially being in Hong Kong, I feel like it's not a very accepted sport for the younger generation.
Why
So
not?
parents think it's more like violence.
Okay.
But there's so much more to Muay Thai.
Right.
It's a sport, it provides discipline to the kids, there's self-defense, and it gives them so much confidence.
In Thailand, some fighters begin their journey to the top at a very young age. Some stories are fascinating and reflects how much Muay Thai means to its cultural fabric and people.
Sawadika, Q. I want to know, how did you learn about Muay Thai?
Q says that he and his friend walked by this gym one day and saw the training going on. It was his first time seeing Muay Thai in person, and he wanted to learn from then on. He knows it's a great self-defense skill to have, and on top of that, it's a national sport, so he feels proud to learn the skill.
And how has the training been like for you? Is it what you expected? Is it really hard? Is it really intense, competitive?
The training is going well, and he absolutely loves it. Everyone's really encouraging, and it makes him feel very motivated to keep going.
So I've heard that you've won a lot of competitions. Can you tell us what's the most memorable story you have from one of these fights?
He remembers his third fight vividly because he won it in a clean and quick way. He felt very proud of himself.
Well, you spend so much time training. Do you ever feel lonely or feel like you're missing out on opportunities to play with your friends and things like that?
He doesn't feel sad at all because he feels like this is where he belongs. Everyone is so welcoming, just like one big family. In the future, he wants to become a great fighter to make his family proud and to help support them.
Sawadika, boom. I want to know how long have you been learning Muay Thai?
ก็
Bung says he started learning Muay Thai when he was 8 years old at a gym near his home. He stopped in between and picked it up again at this current gym.
มาจน
And what are some challenges that you have encountered?
อาจจะเป็น
His biggest challenge was his height. His old coach had told him he was too short and he would never make it in the sport. He believed it, and that's why he quit before, but he could never fully put it aside. He would always talk about it with his friends until a good friend brought him to this gym and he met Ben. Through Ben, he learned to turn his weakness into an advantage. And with that mindset, he has won 55 fights and is now known on a national level.
So what's the story behind your stage name?
ก็เริ่มแรก
In this sport, naming yourself after someone is the biggest honor you can give them. And so he named himself after Ben to pay respect to him for training him to become the fighter he is today.
ถามคุณทรงชัยและนัทุบันว่า
So I heard that before a fight, there's usually a dance ritual of some sort. Can you tell me more about why people do it before they fight?
ก็การไหว้ครู
Before every fight, he has to perform a ritual called Wai Kru Ram Mui
แล้วก็
that expresses his respect and gratitude to his coaches, parents, and ancestors. The ritual consists of a dance that also helps to warm up their body, relax their nerves, and mentally focus.
ไหว้ครูครับ
So Boom, being such a competitive fighter at such a high level, I know you must encounter a lot of injuries, you have wins, you have losses. How do you recover from that mentally and physically?
หลังจากที่ต่อย
In his most recent fight, he got a cut on his forehead and had to get 6 stitches for it. He lost the match, but he received a ton of encouragement from his team at the gym.
เพื่อนๆในค่าย
He feels like they're just like family who help support him through his journey to improve and prepare for the next fight.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in your career and all your future fights. Kapun ka.
ขอบคุณครับ
After speaking to a lot of different people who hold Muay Thai close to their hearts, I can tell that without Muay Thai as a sport, Thai people would be missing a huge chunk of their culture, and a lot of other people would be missing out on this amazing sport. And it's so integrated into their livelihoods that even if they're not a fighter, I can see that this fierce mentality will continue to influence other people's lives positively.